This map looks cool. I saved it. Alright. Welcome back to the weekly Jinjomail. I'm just going to start right away. Oh, also, I forgot to not print these out, so I'm wasting paper again. Oh, well. Oh, I have to pause. Pause. God fucking... There we go. Hi, wavetro. I'm that same lad on every single Jinjomail. Anyways, I've seen the video We Made a Pizza. Will you ever do that type of video again with making stupid stuff with some lads from that same random guy? Ah, great question. Yeah, We Made a Pizza. It's one of those other video ideas that keep forgetting that I made. I remember that one because like when I first came up with it and finished it, I was like, yes, this is what I want to do on YouTube, and I was ready to stop posting to Newgrounds and just do videos like that for like eternity. And I was so confident that was going to be my video format that was the moment I decided to like announce to my old channel, robot underscore, that I had came back to YouTube, since I didn't want to announce that I came back to YouTube until I had figured it out. And then the funny irony is that I ended up not wanting to continue making those videos anyway, because it's actually very draining to put together a video like that, because it actually took like, well, it was recorded in June and then it came out in July. It was just like a month non-stop of just putting it all together, all the 3D, all the fucking editing together, and the shit, and the clipping, and all that. It's honestly like, it's a huge undertaking to make one of those videos. It seems simpler, like, after you watch some of my other videos, it's like, oh yeah, you just record yourself having fun with friends, no big deal, right? Throwing a little 3D. Wrong. It takes a whole lot more to make the We Made a Pizza video than other stuff. But I've thought about returning to it, right? Because what is it? In my drive are like two unused recordings of videos like that. Like there's We Made a Pizza, and then there's also one I did with with Killy's son and Kinda Drake instead of our boy Chris Comvic, where we came up with ways to break into Area 51, and then with Kinda Drake and JJ Hossie, we did designing the best farm, right? There was really fun recordings, and it was funny, right? But the problem was that like it was such a pain in the ass to actually pull it together. Like if you followed my Twitter back in 2019, you know that I pulled the plug on this and I was back to the drawing board, which then eventually led to Stickmen 2020, right? And then thankfully going back and doing a proper collab with Hilly Sunt on Battleship and JJ Hossie on Business, which are thankfully some of the best videos of Stickmen 2020. But where's I going with this? Into the distance I go. New one. Oh shit! Oh wait, no, that's also cool. I gotta save that. But yeah, I've thought about making another one, but wait, I forgot to hit save map. I'm an idiot. Okay, now we can scroll all the way to the right. Okay, yeah, I've thought about making more videos like We Made a Pizza, and I have unfinished videos like it that are sitting that'll probably never get made, because thinking about like digging up that old recording, and there we go. Digging up that old recording and going to that old footage again just does not sound appealing at all. Like the appeal of the idea to finish those videos is just not there. Like those videos are pretty much dead on the water. I know I said like back in 2019, hey, I might finish them one day. Looking back at them now, it's like, no, the shelf life is basically gone. It's not worth sinking a month of uninterrupted work time into bringing these videos back, you know? So they're just kind of sitting and doing nothing, right? But if I ever do come back to it, it'd probably be on like a much smaller scale, right? Because like I said, doing like a whole 20-minute video of that, it will take like a month of work. It's just not fucking worth it. Versus, you know, something like, you know, I keep saying, you know, shit like Stickmen 2020, where it's just like the absolute pinnacle of cranking shit out fast in 3D, you know? Why the fuck do I keep saying you know me? I'm just gonna move on. I hope that answers your question. Alright, next one. What gave you the idea of Jinjo Gaming? I know the origins of Jinjo. It's the things that you save in Banjo-Kazooie on the N64. Best N64 game, fight me. Banjo-Tooie is great too, and Banjo Nuts and Bolts is shit. Also, what games did you grow up playing? From the cringe devil in your head. I'm not going to answer the what games did I grow up playing question, because I already talked about that in like the last video, but it will segue into the next question. But the question here is, where did I get the idea of Jinjo Gaming? And the answer is, it's not really my idea. Back in summer 2019, like basically right before I recorded We Made a Pizza with Friends. I was in another friend group, and for whatever reason, they're spamming this meme, Jinjo Gaming. It's like, hey guys, Jinjo Gaming, and they're just like putting Jinjos everywhere, and it was like the funniest shit. And then like while we were on that server, I paid some guy on Fiverr to make a Jinjo skin, and I set it as my background with a crappy Jinjo Gaming MS Paint thing. And I left that there, right? And then I recorded the We Made a Pizza video with a different friend group, which would be kind of Drake, you know, the voice of Miller and all those other characters on Stickmen 2020. And Chris Comvic, the guy with the purple TF2 profile picture in the We Made a Pizza video. As you saw in that video, why are all these maps so fucking cool? As you saw in that video, the fucking background was still there, and then like Chris like, what is that? And I was like, oh yeah, I paid some guy $5 on Fiverr to make this skin for me because I did. And so what is it? That was the point where like Jinjo Gaming was like just sort of like a one-off meme in that a sort of one-off meme in the We Made a Pizza video. But around that time, 2019, was also the year when Minecraft was blowing up. You know, the S&P Live Golden Era, you know, Schlackcoin and all those funny memes and whatever. You know, Minecraft coming back and being decringified, even though, like, you know, that's the last thing I've ever seen, like, get decringified, since I'm just so disconnected from Twitter that I don't really have a cringe culture detector anymore. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Those videos posted on my Discord server of, like, middle schoolers embarrassing themselves with pretending to be Friday Night Funkin' or Dream fans, whatever, you know. But they're middle school kids, right? I'm not going to fucking put it past them to say, hey guys, don't have a childhood. It's cringe. Grow up right now, you know? We already talked about that. And, God, these levels are all so fucking good. Oh my God. Save that one. But, where was I going with this? Yeah, so basically at that point, I was like really sitting on my hands saying, I can't figure out a video I should do for 3D. Maybe I should just do Minecraft. And I kept holding it back and saying, like, no, everyone's going to do Minecraft. It's too oversaturated. And eventually, I just started playing Minecraft with the same people who first showed me the Jinjo Gaming joke, right? To the point where I was like, all right, no, we have too much fun with this. I remember on that server we had, I built like this really, since I'm so dog shit at Minecraft, all I just do is shit posting whenever I play with people. I like just cleared out like the entire forest and made a door bridge, which is basically like this really long single block of dirt, and it's just all doors that you have to manually open just to walk the entire thing. I think it was like 2,000 blocks or some crazy number. And it was the funniest shit. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's get these boys together. Let's just do an SMP. I just want to see what happens. And so that's when I created the second channel. I was like, oh, okay, Minecraft. Let me try it out. What should we call it? Oh, wait, Jinjo Gaming. Haha. That was the joke that was on that server. And so those are the people you see in like if you like go to the oldest videos on this second channel for Jinjo Gaming, that's what you see. Like, that's why there's Minecraft for a bit. I was playing randomly with people. And of course, even though that SMP basically crashed and burned because they didn't realize how important it is to make sure that you pick people that go on the SMP carefully before mixing friend groups and realizing they don't work together at all, is I'm so sorry, Mitchell. Yeah, you have to be careful who you bring on and make sure they vibe together well. But basically, that's how this Jinjo Gaming channel sort of happened. It was a failed Minecraft channel, like it says in the channel description. Failed Minecraft channel turned into someone's off-brand dumping ground. You know, I don't call this thing wavetro 2 or wavetro live or something like that because I think it'd be ugly. Since I'm posting more this is probably going to have more videos than my actual main channel, and I don't want this to ever be bigger than my main channel. But if it does that anyway, I don't want it to be like wavetro 2 or wavetro gaming. It looks like an eyesore. It looks like that's my main thing when it's not, right? So I just kept the name Jinjo Gaming. And I don't think the Jinjo Gaming meme was really any of ours meme. I remember someone on Twitter was adding me saying like, oh yeah, it's my Jinjo Gaming meme. Oh my god, I can't believe it spread so far. And now here I am sitting on the Jinjo Gaming YouTube channel title. It's approaching 1,000 subscribers, and I have the Jinjo Gaming custom YouTube URL that I'm not allowed to change anymore, and I'm just kind of like, whoops. It was, yeah, I don't know if that person wants the name Jinjo Gaming or anything, but like, whatever the case, that is the long illustrative history of how this channel ended up being called Jinjo Gaming, and why people, when they first find the channel, is like, wait, this is wavetro? Wait, I can't tell if this is wavetro. Is this a wavetro fan? What the fuck is this? It's wavetro. It's me. This is just my second channel. It's a dumping ground, and I don't call it wavetro because otherwise it would look weird if this was my main thing, which I don't want it to be. And yeah, I think I got everything. All right, that's the story of Jinjo Gaming. I never really even played Banjo-Kazooie. I played like the one, and I had the second ever video game I owned was the Banjo-Kazooie for Game Boy on like the Game Boy Advance SP. Well, just Game Boy Advance actually, and yeah, that's about it. And then the Jinjo go Jinjo or whatever, right? And I did play. Oh wait, no, wait. I did play Banjo-Kazooie once, and then I think the video's somewhere on the Jinjo Gaming channel. I don't know. It's like I don't go back and check. This is, like I said, a dumping ground. Maybe it was one of the videos that I had privated because of what is it? Because there was a Twitch channel for that Minecraft stuff too. Before that also got nuked, and you know, now I don't really fucking like Twitch anymore either. But let's go down here. Ooh, see if I can fly right. Oh, I already messed up my momentum. God, I'm going to be talking in circles if I try to remember anything else about the Jinjo Gaming origin story. Let me know if I missed anything, or if my brain did a skip. I'll just talk about Jinjo Gaming, the Jinjo Gaming name again in a future video. But yeah, the last thing I want to say is that I've thought a lot about changing the name. The only issue is that I'm stuck with the URL Jinjo Gaming. And then even then, it's going to make even less sense when people say, yeah, wavetro has a second channel called Jinjo Gaming, and then you say, oh wait. He changed the name on it. Now it has another completely unrelated name that you have to go looking for. It's just a big mess, right? I might as well just stick with Jinjo Gaming, I guess, right? Okay, next question. So, you were asking me about what games I grew up playing. This flows nicely into this email because this email has 3 questions. Yeah, let's go. Hey George /wavetro /Jinjo Gaming guy, how's your day? Don't answer that. It's going to be like a week late answer. Okay, I won't. Also, this might be a long email because I kept postponing emailing you for weeks so you can just cut certain parts out. But no, I'm going to include the entire fucking thing. Mainly, what is your favorite game genre? Or well, what was your favorite game genre since you don't really enjoy gaming anymore? All right, let's start there. I don't fucking hate gaming or not enjoy it. I just don't actively seek it anymore, right? It's like excuse me, most of my gaming that I do these days is because other people invite me to game with them, not because of something that I consciously reach for myself. Every now and then I'll play like a short single-player game that just recently came out or something. But if you mean like, yeah, you don't game as much as you used to, absolutely, I don't game as much as I used to, right? I'm becoming dusty, old, boring. That being said, you saying which game genre was my favorite growing up, and the answer is platformers, dude. I fucking love the shit out of platformers. You're talking Mario, you're talking Meat Boy, you're talking fucking not like the Rage Troll platformers on Flash games. I hated those, but like, I don't know. I just really love the shit out of platformers, and it was fun seeing how quickly it is to like, you know, pick up the game and then immediately see yourself improve at it versus something with more numbers or strategy that like had too many moving parts for my 2 brain cells. So it was like, no, where's my running and jumping and wall hopping and skipping and whatever, right? And I don't mean just 2D platformers. I also mean 3D platforms. Like, mind you, even though I sold my Switch Lite, and well, I don't hate Nintendo. I just don't really plan on. I don't really ever see myself giving them money again, since I don't really need to. But the thing I'm saying is like, even though I sold my Switch and I don't have a current Nintendo console anymore, I loved the shit out of Super Mario Odyssey. That game was fucking fantastic, right? And what other 3D platformers? But basically, that's just always been my favorite genre, you know, just kind of... And it goes back to how, as growing up, I was like a diehard Mario kid, you know? Kart, platformer, the weird RPGs like Bowser's Inside Story. Yeah, I played all of that, and, you know, the design of... not Mario himself, but like the design of that world and shit is a big influence in, you know, the stuff I make, you know? And since Mario's bread and butter was platformers, naturally, my bread and butter became platformers, so... yeah. I'm not gonna try to talk in circles again. I hope that answers your question. If not, just write another email. But let's go to part 2 of that email anyway. Are you ever returning to Stickmen 2020 / the Stickmen series? I know it ended in, well, 2020 by the title, but are you possibly planning to return to it once you complete Cave Holder 2, like as a joke or something, and you just release a video out of nowhere in 22 in the middle of winter, or what? Alright, good question. I did say, like, what is it? Back at the end of 2020, I was like, hey, the show's over. Pack it up and go home, right? And what I was really, honestly, I really thought, anticipating in the future, I would be basically tired of the show just because I fucking crushed the shit out of my energy and lifeblood in 2020. Like, I'm really proud of that year, but I was fucking tired, right? I basically went all in on this series that didn't even really get that big until later on when the YouTube algorithm, like, blessed me. I mean, like, what is it? 5,000 subscribers isn't insignificant, obviously. And it was bigger than any channel I've ever had, so that was, like, satisfying enough for me, right? But, you know, the point I'm trying to say is, to anyone outside of not being attached to the series or not knowing how long I have been, like, working on trying to get 3D to work on YouTube, it looks kind of stupid saying, why did you put so much energy on this Stickmen show, right? And of course, after a while, it's like, alright, I put so much energy into you, and you're still, like, perfect child. I would hate to see this series ever have a declining point or something. Let me just kill it now while it's still good, right? So that was my thinking for it. So, like, people will always be like, you know, if I ever came back to be like, I don't really like wavetro right now, but I did like Stickmen 2020, so they could always be, so at least Stickmen 2020 would have, like, this untouched legacy, right? And it was especially a good thing I ended it there, because I after, like, I uploaded the compilation video, and then 3 fucking days later, the Carson shit, and it's like, fuck, right? But it's already burned into the Stickmen 2020 collection. It's there, you know, right? So, point being, would I ever return to it? And here's the thing: I love the format of Stickmen 2020, right? It's what I'm most passionate about, like, making comedy that makes fun of things. I'm an edgy piece of shit who's stuck in 2016 that has all this knowledge of 3D, and, you know, I want this, I want to be a fucking sore thumb in the otherwise very, hug boxy? I don't think that's the right word. I'm basically saying, like, there's a sort of, counterness that I really like in the fact that Stickmen 2020 exists as, like, a animated show, because, like, you know, as most edgy animated shows end up being, is just like another carbon copy Adult Swim Fox animation TV show about people who live in a suburban house and shit like that, right? Versus you know, the actual internet creativity scene. I'm not here to discredit if you're into animation right now and you're really passionate about, like, the craft itself or people's character designs or whatever. I'm just talking about my interest, right? Because like I said, I'm just a moron that loves to joke about shit, right? I'm a jokester. What can you say, right? But yeah, don't get me wrong though. I really love what Stickmen 2020 was, and I do want to, like, because what is it? I don't want to work on K-Folder, like, forever when I do return to it, because at the end of the day, like I said in my last video, I feel better if I can post more, so I can feel like I'm less of a speck in the world. And there's no faster way to get out fast 3D videos than, you know, the fast comedy, well, the fast to make and quick bites of comedy that Stickmen 2020 has. So, definitely I would like to come back to just uploading frequently, and that would be basically my go-to. So in a way, there will be a spiritual successor to Stickmen 2020. It just wouldn't be exactly the Stickmen 2020 show. Because the thing about Stickmen 2020 is that every single episode of that show is deliberately designed to be watched out of order and without knowing a single thing about the show beforehand, right? That is, like, one of its core philosophies. The problem with that is that since it was designed to also be, you know, short and easy to share around the internet, is it also becomes very easy for it to lose its identity. Like, people share around the Pigeons video, but I guarantee you that 80% of people who have seen the Pigeons video on, like, a Discord server or whatever do not know about Stickmen 2020, and the fact that it's an entire show, which sucks. So definitely, if I ever return to, like, you know, comedy videos, I mean, not if, I will, right? Because I really fucking love doing that shit. You know, it's the clearest reflection of my personality. Fucking Christ, I lost my train of thought. Shit. Where was I going with this? Fuck. So if I ever do... Yeah, okay, I remember now. So if I ever... So, not if. When I do come back to short comedy videos like that, it would not be in the Stickmen name. It would not be Stickmen 2022. It would not be Stickmen 2023 or whatever. It would just be something else. Something that doesn't have an upload schedule, nor does it have, like, an expiration date, right? It's not going to end in, like, a year either or something, and it's not going to have, like, some overarching lore, right? I would like something that's just, you know, less, it's more relaxed and still gives me that same creative freedom, right? But it would also, I wanted to also, like, I'm willing to sacrifice a portion of what made Stickmen 2020 so good, and that is being able to watch it and instantly get it. So what would that mean is basically maybe there wouldn't be the video ends and you're immediately sitting at the end of the video. There's no like credits. Maybe there'd be credits. There'd maybe be a proper show name from the beginning. Maybe there'd be established characters, but there'd still be like that sort of you can watch it in any order, and there's no overarching lore kind of thing, you know, like quick bite comedy, right? But I would definitely, fuck, that would have been a sick combo. But I would have definitely, what was I gonna definitely say? Shit. Oh yeah, I remember. But yeah, I would definitely and then I forgot it again. Fucking great. But I think you see the point I'm getting at. Point being that I heavily enjoyed that I found the formula for Stickmen 2020 and how basically it had like this perfect so perfect in my eyes, right? This sort of like not deadly, like painstakingly designed formula that made the show work so well. And of course I want to come back to that, but it's not going to be as like tightly thought out, because otherwise it would just like drain myself so much. And so I can at least say that, like, hey, it's not a sequel to the Stickmen show, but it's pretty close. And hey, even if you don't like it, you can always go back and say, yeah, I like Stickmen 2020 more, you know. And at least that show ended while it was still good. So that's my thinking for it. Next question of the same email. Are you ever going to return to the server events, since playing marble tourneys ain't the same without you? Like maybe later on, Redacted might do a robot roller disco derby dodgeball event. And that's it, I think? And who knows? It's all I got, and this email's already long enough. Anyways, I hope you're doing well enough. Sincerely, that one annoying guy from the server. So, this last part is about the Discord server, and how, like, on there... Oh, shit, wait. Funny button. Anyways, and I wonder why my Discord server is filled with OK given WhatsApp card. What? Anyways, so, on my Discord server, right? Basically, if you don't know, well, this is good. Basically, this conversation, or whatever I set the timestamp question to, is going to be about, once again, about how close I get to interacting with the people who watch my stuff. Meaning you. That's you right now, right? So, on my server, there is these server events where you can like opt into an optional Discord role, and you get pinged for whenever the server's all going to get together and do something like a marble race or Jackbox party pack, or in this case, the email suggesting robot roller disco derby dodgeball event. Which, mind you, I would not go to that event, because that is the same game where I raged so hard in the server that I broke my mouse. I don't know why. I just do so fucking terrible with my temper with that game, like SRB2 cart, rip, right? But so to answer your question, would I ever come back to server events? The answer is I don't know, because honestly, thinking about going back to a server event, I just get racked with so much doubt. Because obviously it sounds fun. It's like, oh, let me go to the server event. I'm going to actually see wavetro and interact with them. But like, the thing that scares me is, God forbid, something goes wrong in that like server event, or something terrible happens, or someone, you know, gets talked over in the event of 20 people loudly yelling over each other and has a bad time, and I'm literally there. That bad experience is going to be projected onto me, and it's going to be... I know it sounds stupid. It's like saying, like, well, I think it sounds stupid, like, to have people think that, like, oh, no, they're going to be able to know the difference, right? But the thing is, like, it's still weird to just, like, think of something going wrong in a public VC, and you're the one there. You're, you know, the one reason people are, like, 450 people are in this Discord server, and it's because of your videos, and you are literally in the VC, and something goes wrong. That's, like, a fucking terrifying thought, and it also goes into how, like, I'm like retreading old ground here of like how I really like interacting with people one-on-one in like a controlled way like this, right? Where I can, if let's say I say something terrible while I'm talking, I'd be like, oh, edit that out, and you know, it's gone, right? But when it's when you're talking in a group, or like, well, when I'm in a group, I mean like a Discord server, and everyone wants to like interact with you, but it's not like one-on-one, it's not one-to-one or anything, it's everyone just trying to get your attention or something. It just gets terrifying, right? You can see my previous videos on this if you want to know what I mean by terrifying, because like it's a whole can of worms. But to answer your question, would I ever return to server events? Honestly, I do not know, because it's just I just don't like. I just think about all the things that could go wrong, and my presence being there just compounding the situation. Like, of course, I'm not saying that all of our server events are like all go wrong or something, and you know, because you know, there's every server is gonna have its drama, but like, it's kind of weird when you know the guy that the server is revolving around is also directly roped into it. So I'm just not comfortable with that idea, you know. I don't know. I just feel like I lose so much control when it's like, oh wait, wavetro's in the server event. Oh my god, and then like you know, I don't know. This is like one of the things that like I'm really obsessed with, like explaining things in detail or telling people exactly. Oh yeah, I'm leaving for my YouTube channel, coming back from this, and this is the reason why, rather than just ghosting you guys or something, or like not owing people an explanation. I know I don't owe people explanations for things, but it's just what I like doing. I like explaining everything I do to people when I can, and obviously I withhold when it doesn't make sense. But you know, this is one of the things where it's like really hard for me to explain. So to answer your question, I'd probably say probably not, but I might change my mind in the future. Don't hold me to this, right? I could change my mind. Maybe like a slightly different event, or maybe like I'm the only one talking and everyone else is muted. Or I mean, that basically becomes a live stream at that point, or maybe something where it's like, you know, just like a chat box is so much easier to moderate than a VC where 20 different people are talking. But I don't know, like, because back then on my server, when it was still small, I used to, you know, game directly with the server members and hang out in there all the time. But then eventually there came a point where it was like, I can't do this anymore, you know. I don't want to, like, make myself unapproachable and seem too busy to people, but gaming directly with them in a VC or constantly interacting with them day in and day out on the server when there's so many eyeballs watching, it's just, you know, that's terrifying. So, you know, it's also the reason why I try to send as few messages as possible on the server. Not trying to like be like appearing mysterious or busy or too cool for my own server or anything. I just feel weird when like people like especially or exclusively see whatever I type. I just, you know, it feels weird being watched so much, you know. But you know, it's like, hey, you're on the fucking internet. What do you expect, George? And like, yeah, you're right. So I would like people to watch my videos more than, you know, watch me accidentally go on some really bad and uninformed rant in the server and then I end up deleting it later or something. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Hi George, I've been staying up very late each night and enjoy working during those early hours of the day, getting a lot more work done and just feeling more productive. However, I'm averaging about 5 hours of sleep per night, making up sleep by napping for about 1 to 2 hours and oversleeping on the weekends as well. I'm just tired all the time, but I'm quite happy with how it all works out. What's your experience with sleep been like, and has it changed the way you tackle work? Also, do you drink coffee? Stay cool and take care. Well, this is a cool question. Definitely different. I guess I want to start by reacting to your sleep schedule. Honestly, I would tell people that if you say like, oh yeah, I get 3 hours of sleep, but I catch up with sleep on the bus, then you'd be an idiot. Because, you know, if you know how sleep cycles work, you can't be rested at all unless you get at least like an hour of like sleep. Because like, the only way to actually get rested is to enter, you know, REM cycles. And closing your eyes for 20 minutes on the train isn't going to do that. It's just gonna make you feel like shit still, right? So good for you for getting like, you know, actual intervals of like 1 to 2 hour naps, because, you know, that's how you actually get rested. This is actually not a new thing. I remember like in an old server I used to be in, there were people who do like these split cycle sleep schedules where they'd sleep for 3 hours and then sleep for 4 hours and like 2 separate chunks of rest rather than getting a single like 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, right? It's a wild concept, but, you know, basically sleep does work in like these chunks of, you know, an hour at a time of like sleep cycles. Whenever you get like a full night's of rest, it's usually because you get like, you know, 3 or 4 full cycles of sleep that your brain goes through. I don't really know how to explain the science, but this is what I vaguely know from what I've read about sleep. But yeah, good for you, man, for making sure that whenever you do get a nap to catch up from your 5 hours of sleep, you make it count. So what else did you write? Enjoy working during this early hours of the day. Yeah, fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I have friends who also enjoy waking up at like 4 in the morning, getting work done, and like, you know, before everyone else in their house wakes up, there's like peace and quiet. It's just you and it sounds really boomery at first, like, oh, you gotta go to bed at 8 o'clock and wake up at 4 a.m. It feels so nice. I gotta mow my lawn and I gotta grill and it burns when I pee, right? Those boomers are right with the fact that, like, if you do try, like, you know, waking up early in the morning, it's just, you know, it's just nice and peaceful to, like, you know, maybe you get to watch the sunset and you're like, oh, that's cool, right? Or whatever else. I mean, granted, I watch the sunset when I stay up all night anyway, but, you know, by then my face just feels super greasy and I just want to fucking pass out. That said, you know, what else is in that email? I'm gonna try to read the email paper while steering. This is gonna end badly. Oversleeping on the weekends. Yeah, I do that too. But honestly, whenever I try to like oversleep on the weekends, but still set an alarm to wake up to, so I actually remember to get out of bed. Because whenever I do oversleep on the, oh shit, this fucking noise is annoying. There we go. Whenever I do oversleep, I just, whenever I wake up from not to an alarm but by myself, I just my day is like already going to be 30% less productive. Because then I roll over, I look at my phone in bed for a while, I like watch YouTube videos. And then, like, at 4 o'clock, I roll out of bed, maybe have breakfast, which at that point is lunch or something. And then by 9 or 10 p.m., my brain has gone into weekend mode again, leaving me with, like, 3 hours of, like, working time to get done, and that is if I don't get distracted. So, for my own productivity, if I want to get a lot of stuff done, I have to wake up in the morning, and most importantly, I have to wake up to an alarm, so I remember to actually start with that structure, because it's like a domino effect for me. If I like start the day by rolling out of bed by myself, it's just gonna go to shit from there on out. Nothing wrong with those days, obviously, if you don't have work to do, but that's just something that, you know, that's part of my relationship with sleep. What else can I talk about with my relationship with sleep? Honestly, I try to get my 7 hours of sleep all the time. Like, I know a lot of people say, like, oh yeah, it's easy to get all this stuff done and want to do all this. I'll do all these things you want to do. Just sacrifice your sleep schedule. Meanwhile, I usually end up, you know, having my grades tank for me to get sleep, which sounds kind of dumb, but I don't know. I just really like sleep, and I like getting if I can, getting the 7-8 hours in a night. Granted, sometimes shit happens and I have to get 6 hours or something. Or even worse, maybe 5, like in your situation. But the thing is, like, I don't really nap. I don't like napping, right? I like having all my sleep in one chunk, so I do try to get like my sleep in, and I don't believe in the no sleep meme. Like, fucking get some sleep if you can. There's nothing cool about staying up all night, unless you actually finish something cool. Because obviously, I fucking wrecked my sleep schedule to work on Stickmen 2020. Especially when it had the Thursday schedule, but it's not something you should be doing all the time. It should not be a regular thing. Like, it's surprising how much sleep I still had to, like, fucking axe to get college work done. And, you know, that actually goes into the next and final email. We'll get to that one. Oh, we're gonna get to that next one, but yeah, I like sleep, and I've never thought that not sleeping enough was lame or something, because of sometimes I like to sacrifice things just to get that sleep. I don't know, I like it, so I mean, what is it? No, I was about to say, like, if maybe there was like one instance where I've napped, but, you know, I haven't napped. But hey, as long as you get that sort of like added in, as long as your sleep cycles still add up to 7 hours, I guess that's fine. Honestly, I wouldn't I don't know much about this, but from what I understand, you shouldn't really split your sleep into more than 2 sessions. Because I know I've heard of things where people say, like, yeah, I sleep for 2 hours, and I wake up for 30 minutes, and I sleep for 2 hours, and I wake up for 4 hours, and then I sleep for 2 hours, and it makes my brain do this really cool thing. It's like, that's great. You sound like a fucking schizophrenic, right? Obviously, but yeah, obviously there's a lot of people can't get all their sleep done in one night, and, you know, if you want to catch up, definitely at least an hour or 2 of napping should help you out. That being said, I do know one thing for sure, and that catching up on sleep is, like, not a thing. Like, maybe you go 2 sleepless nights and then you pass out on the weekend. That doesn't mean that you're going to, like, sleep for 20 hours, right? It usually means you're going to sleep for 8, and then you're well rested for that day. You can't really catch up on sleep to an extent, right? Like, if you skip sleeping for a night, then of course you can like sleep again later on and get that full rest again. But if you like skip sleep or you miss out on sleep like 2 days in a row, that sleep on the first day, yeah, that's gone. This is what I vaguely understand about sleep anyway. I don't know. Cool topic though. And coffee, no, I don't really drink coffee. See, I'm a gigantic cheapskate. I don't really like doing drugs or even like relying on, I mean, I say rely, the big word here is rely. I don't really like relying on coffee or tea or anything just because it saves me money. And it's, I don't know, it's been over the past couple of years of seeing people just have jobs, and meanwhile me, I'm just sitting on my ass with like allowance from my parents. I've just learned to like hoard every single penny I get just because I haven't really been able to learn how to like find work, which of course is changing this year. That's why I kind of went hiatus on my main channel. I'm figuring that out now, but yeah, I don't really like drinking coffee. Of course, I know my mother like gets on my case saying, "Oh, George, you gotta pick coffee or tea. You gotta have a drink so you can socialize with people." I'm like, no. I'll just be like, yeah, give me water, or give me my diet Coca-Cola or something. And the reason why I say diet is because I'd rather roll the dice with aspartame than drink normal soda and have all that sugar that I know is what's gonna do to me, you know. I've had people tell me like, oh, you know, aspartame's bad for you, but then, you know, you kind of Google it and you find out, no, aspartame isn't bad for you, right? Because well, let me roll that back. Aspartame is not going to fucking murder you or kill you. All the data about it is not like fully in yet, but whatever the case, I'd rather roll my dice with aspartame than sugar or high fructose corn syrup that I know what will happen to my body in soda. And that being said, the best solution at all is just never drink soda and, you know, just drink water, which I usually do, which I'm going to do right now, even though my noise filter is going to cut it out. Water, love it. But yeah, I've had people try to get me into coffee, and, you know, of course every now and then I'll drink like, you know, one of those fucking McDonald's or Starbucks, like, oh, look at this coffee, we put a bunch of cream in it, and like there's fucking sprinkles, and we put in angel tears and a stick of cinnamon. It's like, oh yeah, it looks fun. I'll drink that. Yummy, right? Like a nice dessert, like a hot chocolate. Love hot chocolate, by the way. But it's not something I ever really rely on. Rely on. It's like, you know, it's in the category for me like soda and hot chocolate. Maybe I'll have it, but only because like the only reason I'd ever have coffee is if there's someone else telling me you should have it. Come on. I'm like, all right, fine, you know. And that's not to say, I lost my train of thought again. Fucking Christ. You ever heard of the doorway effect, where, like, they say if you walk through a doorway, you can forget what you were doing by entering that room? I feel like that's happening a lot with this game, since you try to, like, go into these little crevices and get points. That said, yeah, basically that's my thoughts on coffee. If you need it in the morning, or you need it every day, good on you, man. I just try not to, I don't want to rely on anything just because I'm a big, fat cheapskate. Yeah. I'll drink, you know, fuck it. I'll drink coffee socially, maybe. But if it was my own volition, I'd just reach for water, or on very rare occasions, since you shouldn't have them frequently, ideally never have them at all, a diet soda or hot chocolate or some shit. Yeah. I was about to, like, go into some tangent on, like, weed and those other drugs and shit, but maybe that's for another video. If you want to hear me talk about my thoughts on that, you can send in an email, because honestly, I just started thinking about them and I don't really know what to make of them myself. But moving on to the final question, the one I was especially saving for and said would be really interesting. I think it's also the shortest question I've ever gotten. So here it is. The question was actually put in like the header of the email rather than inside the body. Are you excited to be almost done with school? And then here is an unrelated meme, and then the meme is just a small table on Craigslist. But anyways, are you excited to be almost done with school? Answer, fucking absolutely yes. I fucking hate college, dude. Holy shit. Like, I might be thinking, oh, if you hate college so much, why'd you do it for 4 years? The answer is because my parents made me, right? Because, when you don't really learn how to, like, find, monetary autonomy, you're kind of bound to your parents, and, you know, your parents being your parents and growing up in, like, a previous generation, they'll push whatever worked for them onto you, and that would be, you know, college. So, of course, like, George, you're going to college, and I didn't really have much of a say otherwise, and so I went to college, right? Granted, that's not to say that I still like entirely regret and spit on everything about college, because obviously I used to say that like no one should go to college. It's a big scam, just figure it out on your own. But that's only for my case. Like looking back, I wish that like I was pressured to figuring out how to make money on my own instead of going to college, because of but that's only for my case, because I don't really do that well with the high level academic stuff like math or humanities or what's it called, STEM, like science, technology, engineering, math. Like I can like fucking dick around in front end language or Python or something and eventually get something like with my Discord bot, but I'm no computer scientist. Like I went to college initially as a computer scientist, and I fucking flunked so badly when it started getting to the actual science part, because the first semester is like, all right, code this in Python. Now make this. Good job, you got 100, George. Okay, now buckle up. We're learning about amortized runtimes and fucking discrete classes. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And so, that was that was it? Sophomore year, that's the word for it, yeah. Sophomore year. First semester. Fucking train wreck. I had like basically a 1.6 GPA from that. I got fucked by C++ class. I got fucked by Calc 2. Last math course I've ever taken, by the way. I got fucked by mechanics because it also used Calc 2, and I'm fucking terrible with Calc. And now today, it's like, where does that leave you? Today, I haven't really like had a real, course that you find inside of a high school. And I've forgotten so much about math and so much about science and so much about history, and yet I feel fine, right? I may be stupid. No, that's it. I may be stupid. I may be stupid, but honestly, I'm just like I'm just not that interested in the more lucrative shit, And that's like the sound of a career path is someone that's supposed to just, instead of going the tried and true method of go to college, build connections, find a comfy desk job, get paid, etc. I'm just kind of, I would just wish I could throw myself to the wind and figure it out on myself. Granted, that's what I would like to do this year, or wherever I end up. Like, I spent 4 years in college. Of course, maybe I might as well make that degree, might as well use that degree for something. Or, ideally, I could like go back and pretend like I just got out of high school, I'm clueless, and I need money and need to move out of my parents' house as soon as possible. Figuring it out on my own. But it's not for everyone. Like I know a lot of people right now who are struggling with the job process or thinking about their future at all, and it's like a daunting thing, and it becomes clear why people go to second education, and why you can't just spit on everyone for going to college, right? If someone genuinely, truly wants to go to college, then, let them go to college. If someone doesn't know what to do with their life, don't let them spend money on college. Let them, maybe let them get tumbled around in the workplace for a bit, figure things out, see what they want. Like, oh yeah, I want to go to this degree, get this specific degree for this specific career that requires it, and not just be like, I'm going to go get a fucking degree in communication because, my parents said that I need a degree, and so, okay, I'll put myself in the debt over it. No, that is the scam. Don't fucking do that. And I don't remember if I said my degree on here already, but just in case, I don't want to disclose it again so I don't dox myself, but my degree, honestly, is just kinda, it's still kinda useless. Like, the connections from it aren't useless. Like, for example, I still have, like, if you're in college, by the way, you don't know how to get a job or whatever, and you've now learned, like me, how like the best way to get a job is to have a friend or quote unquote connection to just hand you the job. Professors are a surprising resource for that. The professors in this degree obviously are very helpful a bunch in helping you find your footing in that. But, it's a very specific kind of job. It's like, it's the kind of job where you go on LinkedIn or Indeed and you fill it out and you have to learn how to write a cover letter, you have to learn how to interview, you have to learn how to forget that you applied to the job, otherwise you're going to go crazy waiting for a response. You're gonna, this whole bullshit that I don't really like, You can kind of see how, like, I'm really opening up myself to the idea of, like, just trying out freelance and seeing if I end up starving or making it or something, right? But fuck, where was I going with this? Ooh, this is a cool map. I won't save it though. I don't want to sit at that save screen again. Take a breath for a second. Okay, back. Where was I going with this? You can see how, like, I don't even know what you can see. Let me just go back to answering. Let me just go back to dissecting more of my I guess my college frustrations. I don't know. It's like, it's really weird to look back and think, like, would you go back into the past and change anything about it? And it seems logical for me to go back and say, yes, I wish my parents let me fling myself into the work world and figure out how to make money on my own, rather than going for these jobs that rob so much of your time, or not rob so much of your time, but distort, or not distort, cut you off from what could be really fulfilling work because it's safe, right? It's just, oh, just show up to this place at these hours, do this every day, and we will give you a shit ton of money and benefits, right? It's tempting, and obviously some people are meant to go that route, but, you know, for my case, it's like, I kind of wanted, even though, like, my parents are kind of telling me freelance is kind of scary, George, it's like, I don't know, I kind of want to try it anyway, right? Like, obviously for the longest time, I was like, oh yeah, freelance is a stupid idea. I should just go into the college machine and I will find a job. And then 4 years later, what have I learned? Fucking nothing. Well, not literally nothing, but, like, it goes in how I'm saying, like, I sat through all these college courses, I sat through math, computer science, thing about this, thing about that, and now I'm at the end, and do I remember any of it? And the answer is I've forgotten 95% of it. And everything I have learned from college is something I learned on my own, like, you know, the whole thing about, oh, that's what a connection is, or, oh, that's how you actually get a job, or, oh, that's how, all this shit, but the problem is, I feel like those are all things I would have learned faster if I put the pressure on myself to be like, okay, you're fresh out of high school, you need money or you're useless to the household, George, go find it, go find money. I think I would have learned and picked up on things really fast. Like, one of my server mods, Ted, he's a fucking master at this. He's like, oh, he needs money, he'll find it, right? I don't know if, I don't think he went, yeah, he didn't go to college. Like, he's just the master of, like, oh yeah, you need your own place to live? Okay, here's how you find that. Here's how you get a job to go with it. Here's how to make it work. Okay, go. And it's like, I wish I could have done that. But, you know, it's like, I just didn't want to let down my parents, right? Because they've done so much for me, and it's like, all right, well, if you insist on this degree, because, like, you know, you might be thinking to yourself, why didn't you just become, like, why didn't you just go full Zoomer? Why didn't you just be like, yeah, fuck the establishment. I'm going to run away from home and move in with a bunch of random strangers and fucking figure out how to make money like that or some shit, like, because, you know, I actually fucking value my family. I mean, obviously not everyone's gonna have, is like, has that same healthy family relationship at home or whatever, right? And it's pretty tragic, and then that's where that option would make sense for them. But for me, it was like, well, shit, I never, while I was in high school, I did not expose myself to how to make money. Now I am I'm out of high school, and I still have no plan of how to find anything. I guess I'm going to college. And I remember I fucking hated that first semester, and every single semester after that to this day has just felt like a slog, you know. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm working on the thesis project for my degree right now, and it's so half-assed, and looking back, I'll just tell myself that my thesis project was Stickmen 2020, because somehow I was able to finish that show while doing college classes completely unrelated to it. Meanwhile, Cape Holder was for college homework, but, you know, man. My relationship with college. What else can I pick my brain at? But you can see how I'm, like, really fucking happy to be, like, because, you know, it's just weird, because when my parents, like, recently told me, like, hey, you can do whatever you want in life now, and we'll support it, and it's like, oh, so you're only telling me that now after I got this piece of paper, and it's like, I don't know, man. Because, like, obviously, I'm not saying that the piece of paper isn't useless, because, you know, job hirers and HR departments would be like, oh, he got bachelor degree, he go get the job now, right? But there's a shift, right, with the you know, how democratized information has become on the internet, and given how Generation Y or millennials are now starting to take up leadership positions, you know, shit like, oh shit, new high score? What's my high score? Well, anyways, the new shit like you know, this new generation of people taking over, they understand that, you know, filling out cover letters and applying to jobs and studying to get a piece of paper that allows you to have a really low-paying job that might never pay off debt or something, it's all stupid. And how, like, the most reliable method of getting a job this whole time will now become even more important, which is, you know, just find friends who can get you a job, you know. And I guess, like, it's gonna be a while. I might even be completely wrong. Maybe in the future, everyone who didn't get a college degree will be fucked or something. I don't know, but it just feels less and less relevant to, like, you know, just go to college. But I don't want to knock people who genuinely need it, who will, you know, obviously if you're going to be a doctor or an engineer, well, yeah, of course you're going to college, but, like, for people who are just trying to find their way in life, college, you know, might be an option too. And, you know, college is also especially a great option if you can't stand your family and you want, you know, it's like, I gotta move out to a dorm, I gotta figure this out, and, like, you know, college lets you escape that and be your own person for once. You know, what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, despite the fact that college is a giant sinkhole of money and should not be a be-all, end-all solution, it still has its purposes. What I wish everyone would do when they finish high school, and if you are an American citizen and you're finishing high school soon, let me tell you this: don't immediately throw yourself into a college without thinking about it first. Like it or not, all college will do for you is delay for another 4 years of what you're going to do with your life. And it's better to just think about it right now, head on, saying, like, how would I like to support myself or support my family, or how should I go about learning that before going, shit, I don't know what to do. Better go to this college. Oh no, I'm in debt. I'm working at Starbucks. I should have just gone to Starbucks first. At the beginning, when I first went out of high school, instead of going to college for 4 years, getting myself in debt, and then going back to a Starbucks job anyway, you know? It's like, obviously, some people that go to college won't end up in Starbucks, and maybe might finally make that magic friend or professor or connection that'll land them a cozy job and a start to an illustrious career in fucking whatever, right? But for a lot of people, college isn't the solution. So what I would tell you is, I just went on this gigantic rant and just diluted my point. Let me try to wrap it up again. If you are an American high school student, you're finishing up soon, beware of people who try to immediately shove you into a college. If you want to be a doctor, and you know for sure that you're good at biology, and you know for sure that you're good at math, or you want to be an engineer, and you know for sure that you're good at math, and you're good at science and whatever, then by all means, go to college. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, or you feel uncertain about you know, what you already do in school, or what you want to do every day for the rest of your life, you really need to take time and think about it. I know it's an uncomfortable question. I know it's like you have to sit there and think, what the fuck am I going to do for money, right? But it's such a no-brainer that could save a lot of people from, you know, ruining their lives with student debt, right? And then there goes another question of, why does college cost so much, right? But, oh, excuse me, shit, that was a loud burp. Yeah, that's a whole other discussion. But my point being, not everyone needs college, and, you know, in case you are someone like me who, you know, maybe you did fine in high school, but you never really liked any of the subjects, and there's this other thing that you do for so long that you're pretty good at and you think people will value, it might be in your best interest to at least try it for a year. Like, I know it's called a gap year. Try a gap year of just flinging yourself out in the world and seeing how you do in the world of money without immediately taking up all your free time with a college degree first. Because at the end of the day, what I can say about college is that because I ended up in college, there's a lot of things that happened in my life that I don't want to go back and accidentally prevent from happening or something, right? And I just, at the end of the day, had I not known my future, but had known how much better I'd probably do if I just figured it out on my own, rather than a college degree trying to take up all my time and help me figure it out too, I would have just gone no degree, right? Call me a stupid Zoomer all you want for not wanting a college degree or regretting, like, hey, you have this fucking 4-year piece of paper. Why are you being such a whiny piss baby about it. I mean, obviously I'm going to use it, right? But at the end of the day, it just feels like it is a gateway into a safe future. But I don't know if I really want a safe future knowing what I'm going to be doing every single day for the rest of my life if that safe future comes at the cost of time and energy, you know? I don't know. Like, obviously everyone wishes that they could do something for a living that they also enjoy, right? So, and finding that takes risk. So why don't you just take the risk and find it yourself first or something, right? Maybe, you know, you can get the okay, I was about to go into another unstructured rant, but I'll just cut it off there. In short, yes, I'm excited. I'm finishing school. Yes, I fucking hated every bit of it. Not the people. I love the people, right? I love the professors, you know, the other students. They have all of their passions. It's just that the idea of me just sitting through all these classes in general and getting this piece of paper, I just like the idea of the horrible risk of going out in life without a degree rather than the 4 years I lost sitting through one. Call me an idiot all you want, but that's what I like. That's what I preferred. So yeah, I'm excited to finish school. Alright, that's another Sunday done. Thank you for watching. If you have anything you would like to write to me, because, you know, the whole point of this show is for me to, like, not be a closed up, seeming like I'm a always busy YouTuber. No, I got a lot of free time on my hands. If you want to say hi to me, or like there's something you want me to talk about, or whatever else, write it to this email on screen. If the email is blurred, that means the show has ended, or maybe the email address for it has changed. But otherwise, yeah, send me an email here, and you know I'll get back to you, and it'll go on the show anonymously, and yeah, talk about it. If there's anything in your life you want to talk about, anything you're wondering about me, anything else that, you know, just wants to be, that you just want for me to dissect on this show, feel free to send it my way. And I will see you next Sunday. Alright, it's probably the most efficient episode I've done of Jinjomail. I'm getting better at this. Hopefully my audio isn't shit. Bye-bye.